Alright guys, so here's your Wednesday the 6th workout. So you're going to do 2 rounds on this warm-up. Not for time, you're just going to kind of go through it at your own pace. 30 mountain climbers, so those are, we get our feet up beside our hands. Maybe we really want to get that foot way up there and the knee out. Maybe even stretch around a little bit, trying to loosen up. Lost a shoe. Loosen up for squats. I don't want to just do these short little steps like that. Trying to warm up the hips, really stretch out as well, right? So you can speed them up as you go. But yeah, so the next thing you're going to do is air squats. Those are just normal squats body weight. We're going to be keeping the chest up, heels on the ground, knees out, right? Really, heels need to be stuck on the ground and knees need to be out. So when I show you one from the front, knees need to track out, so heels are on the ground, but the knees are staying over the toes and up, right? So what I don't want to do is kind of have this looking squat where the knees are kind of coming in, right? Ankles are collapsed and coming up. So keep those knees out a little bit, butt back. Okay, so what we're trying to do when we do the jumping air squats is basically look the same, exactly the same as that, but get explosive on the way up. So I'm going to squat down, controlled, and then I'm going to drive up fast, right? So I don't want to let that kind of let me fall on my toes. So I don't want to kind of go and kind of have that, right? I'm going to squat down, heels on the ground, chest up. Right, I'm going to get explosive, keeping my balance, okay? Yeah, so when you're doing your back squats and the strength, so there's the strength component here. Usually in our classes we have a kind of a strength component in the middle before the high intensity workout, where it's kind of like medium or low intensity, lift some heavy weights or kind of work on a skill when we're not super tired, right? Maybe sometimes we time it so we're a little bit tired, but this one you should be you can rest enough to be pretty fresh between each set. Okay, so you're going to do 6 squats every set, so it would be 3 back squats and 3 pause back squats 8 times. Okay, so you're going to do 3 back squats. So if you have a bar, put the bar in your back and keep your hands pretty narrow, right? You're going to have to, most of you guys are going to have to get it up over your back, right? You're only going to be doing this if you have a bar and if you're pretty comfortable with a barbell, but you're going to be doing basically the same looking squat we just did, so butts back and trying to keep the bar on the you know, just behind the neck, maybe just a little bit back of that bone there, it sticks out. And then we're going to do 3 squats with a pause, right? So we're going to go butt back and down, 1, 2, drive up, right? So what we're trying to do is stay tight at the bottom. So we're trying to build strength at the bottom of that squat. Often you'll see people kind of drop down at the bottom and then kind of like sit there on their calves and their back rounds. And then they have to sort of come up like that when they got some weight, right? So what we're trying to do is train that bottom and no bounce. So when I go down, I'm staying tight. I really have to drive up without needing to spring up, okay? So you're gonna do whatever version of equipment you got. It's gonna be that sort of pattern. You might also have to add some reps, right? So if I have a kettlebell, that one's a little bit awkward for a back squat, but you're going to hold it on one arm on the back of your shoulder so that you can kind of relax a little bit. You don't have to really grip it super tight. And I'm just doing 3 squats, maybe more if I need more to make it worthwhile, and then 3 with a pause. And I'm just trying to make these look really good, get explosive out of the bottom on that pause squat, especially when I don't get any bounce. Like I said, I might need to adjust the reps, right? So if I have a bar and I can add weight, 3 and 3 is pretty good. If I have a kettlebell that I could do 10 and 10, and it's like, without it being that hard, I'm gonna add some reps. But just be aware there's 8 sets total, and you gotta do them all. So you might not wanna make it so hard that you can't, that you're blown up for the other sets, right? So then if you have a dumbbell, it's a little easier to hold it with 2 hands on the back. So you're gonna do the squats like this. Okay, so that would be your pause one, but a full 2 seconds at the bottom, right? If you could also hold 2 dumbbells if you kind of turn them up. If you have 2 dumbbells, you can put them like this. If you need a little bit heavier, these are supposed to be as heavy as you can kind of make them, or as hard as you can make the set, because it's supposed to be a strength thing where we get some rest in between. If you have a ball, I'd probably just hold that one like I did the kettlebell. It's a little awkward to hold the ball like this, but you could. You got to tip over a little more. If you have a plate, you can maybe put a plate on your back. Okay. So if you have a bar, use a bar, but you got to have the right amount of weights. Yeah, and if you had to do 5 regular squats, 5 pause squats, 7, or whatever, just make sure you're getting the 8 sets, and they're kind of hard. If I would start easy and then add reps if you're not adding weight. Okay, so you're going to do, for the workout, for the high intensity part, you guys are going to do 2 5-minute AMRAPs. So AMRAP means as many rounds as possible. So you're going to do 1 5 minutes, as many rounds as possible, then 2 minutes rest, and then for another 5 rounds, as many rounds as possible. Or 5 minutes, as many rounds as possible. So the first 5-minute AMRAP is wall balls and thrusters, sorry. So wall balls, you're going to do a full squat. If you have a med ball, you're doing full squat in front of the wall. Okay. Just trying to keep that ball in front of my face here, chest up, just the same squat we were in before. I'm going to drive up it really explosive like I did on those jumping squats, and then throw at the end, right? Keep my arms up there so I can kind of guide it into that squat again, right? Most of you guys, especially newer people, might not have a ball. So if you don't have a ball, you're going to do thrusters, okay? So you're either going to do a 2-arm thruster with a dumbbell like this, where you squat, then you get your head through at the top. So I'm going to make a straight line here. What I don't want to do is kind of go like this, and then push it up there. See how I'm off? I'm not in a straight line, so my body isn't taking the weight evenly. So to get nice and stacked, with the dumbbell straight to my ankles, okay? So head through at the top. If it's a little bit light, with 2 hands, you can do it as a 1 arm. Same idea though. But there's my straight line. Okay? I would just mix them up. Either you do 1 round on the right side and then 1 round on the left side, or you do 5 on the left, 5 on the right. Just make sure you even it out. It's a little bit different than normal. Usually we would tell you which way to do it, but because we got so many different pieces of equipment, you can kind of change it around. If you have a kettlebell, you're going to put your knuckle under your chin, your elbow's going to kind of go down on an angle to the side, and then you're going to still lock out overhead. Same idea, that arm should be straight up when I'm at the top and balanced. Okay, most people find that a little bit harder. So you might have to break up 5 and 5, switch arms halfway. It's a little harder to get into that thing. You could also use a 2-arm. So I could also hold this. But it's supposed to be pretty comfortable weight that I can maybe get 10 in a row, so it shouldn't be something that I'm really getting stuck in, okay? So pistols are 1-legged squats. So those are kind of a tough one for some people. I know that usually hockey players have done these in skating schools and stuff, called shooting the duck. But you're going to do it down on 1 leg, keep the leg off the ground the whole way down, the whole way up, and you're just trying to keep your balance, right? So for a lot of people have to scale this back. So kind of the simplest way to scale this one down is sit to a bench or a box or a chair, keeping that leg up the whole time, and then stand up, right? I'm going to switch legs every one. Right, so if I lower this, or if I stand on something, if I lower this bench down, or raise my height, raise what I'm standing on up. That makes the bench lower. So that's lower. Now I'm going to switch. Okay. You can also sit to something pretty low, like put a ball or a kind of a lower bench or something with a stool behind you. Right? You might have one good side and one not so good side, but you're going to alternate left, right for 10, right? So the other thing you can do is kind of hold a doorway or a post and kind of go down until you get stuck. If you get stuck, you kind of pull yourself up. Just make sure that you're not just using your arms, okay? So after you do as many rounds of 10 and 10, in the first 5-minute AMRAP, you're gonna rest for 2 minutes, keep track of what you did. Next round, you're gonna do another 5-minute AMRAP. We're gonna do deadlifts and kettlebell swings. So deadlifts, if you have a bar, we're gonna work on keeping our back straight here. So you're gonna stand tall when you're at the top. Butt's gonna go back on the way down. You're gonna keep your back straight, tip over to the knee. So I should have a straight line there, right? And then that angle on my back from the knee down should stay the same. So I shouldn't be, when I come up, I don't want to bring my butt up first or my chest up first. What I want to do is bring both up together. So butt and shoulders rise together, and then I bring the chest up. Okay, so I'm going to tip over to the knee, and butt and shoulders drop together, butt and shoulders raise together, and then up. Okay, so the biggest thing is that this bar is close, or whatever piece of equipment you're using is close. So the bar is right on my shins, or just off, and I'm keeping those knees back and out of the way so that bar can go up in a straight line, and that bar can go up. Biggest thing is that I'm not putting this bar out here, because it's really hard to keep my back straight when the bar gets further and further and further away, right? That bar feels heavier, the lever is longer. Yeah, if I have a dumbbell, which is what most of you guys have, we're going to do these ones today as one arm deadlift. So you're going to put the dumbbell in one arm, you're going to tip it down so only one side of the dumbbell needs to touch the ground. You're going to be a little bit more upright in the bottom of the deadlift. Okay, and what you're going to have to work on is staying strong and tight in the core so that you don't twist, right? So you're going to have a narrow stance so that your feet get out of the way, right? What it wants to do is kind of pull you and twist you, right? You're going to switch, either switch in the next round or you're going to switch 5 and 5. Like I said, as long as you even it out. If you're holding the kettlebell, same idea. Okay? Just make sure that you guys are keeping your back straight, and when you go down, you're not like looking at the floor and just kind of relaxing here. You're bringing your butt down. Right? These ones are a little easier to keep the legs out of the way. And then you're going to do kettlebell swings. Right? For these ones, I'm just trying to use my hips. So when I get to here, I'm not bending my knees very much, just a little bit, enough to get the kettlebell between my legs. And my hips are back, because when I snap my hips forward, that propels the kettlebell up. And then I'm going to go up to overhead. If I'm a little bit new with it, I'm not going to go all the way up, maybe kind of just above the head. So I'm going to stand it up first. I'm going to bring it out and get some momentum. Bring it in. Right? But the biggest mistake you normally see with kettlebell swings is that people squat too much. So they go down and they squat, right? So it's not really a squatting movement, it's more of a hip hinge movement, right? So I'm just trying to get it just between the legs, and the power is from me straightening out really fast and then guiding it up with the arms, okay? Keep your eyes looking forward. Try not to look at the kettlebell. So I don't want to be following it down, following it up. I'm going to look at something straight ahead. Okay? Yeah, so if I have a dumbbell, most people are holding a dumbbell like a golf club when they do these swings. So it's going to be the same idea. I would just make sure that the next round you kind of switch hands over. Some people, if you have a small enough dumbbell or long enough legs, you might be able to put your feet wide and swing it like that. Right? But just make sure that you're not kind of scraping your legs every time. Yeah, if you have a ball only, I would be doing like right? I would just be going from the knee, or from the hang position somewhere here, to right up to overhead. If you had a plate only, I could go ground to overhead, or hang to overhead. Okay, and then there might be a couple people in the gym that only have a bar, but you probably don't have the same weight. You could probably do 10 comfortable deadlifts with kettlebell swings, but if you do, you would probably just do a hang snap. So you're going to go with a wide grip, you're going to go from either the high hang here, so you're going to go down and up and punch, right? Or you're going to go to the knee. So power position first, we're going to tip to the knee, keeping the back straight. We're going to bring chest back up and launch from here. Okay, so, but if you have a dumbbell, stick to a dumbbell. I know I gave a lot of options, but either way you're doing 10 and 10, so it's a 5-minute, as many rounds as possible, 2 minutes off, and then the other 5 minutes. So 2 separate scores, okay? Ask me questions for the newer people. There's a few new people that, you know, have never done some CrossFit before, so if you haven't, you're gonna, you can text me or email me. I have the emails at the bottom. Yeah, I'm happy to help if you have any questions, okay? Good luck, guys.